Everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Ann Trujillo, and this is a story that has captivated the country. A war hero killed protecting his own home. Richard Gary Black Jr. was shot by police seconds after they arrived to confront the stranger attacking his family.
Tonight, we know the officer who pulled the trigger was involved in another deadly shooting just a month earlier. We'll dig into why that officer was back on the job so quickly in just a moment, though. We're going to begin with Denver 7 and an ABC News exclusive. Mr. Black's stepson, as you heard there, speaking out for the first time.
And investigative reporter Jace Larson has been working this case since Monday. He's joining us now. Jace, this is the only interview the family says they'll be giving.
Yeah, and you can imagine as you talk to them, they are desperate for answers here. They want to understand how police shot and killed their loved one in what was a very chaotic situation. After all, it was during a home break-in, and this is the family that so many people feel heartbroken for. Tonight, they're describing from their point of view what happened in that house early Monday morning.
I was woken in the middle of the night to just commotion.
Long before cops arrived here, Chad Hayashi, who was sleeping at his stepfather's house, felt that he was in a fight to save his family's lives.
I opened my bedroom door and there's a woman standing there. And she starts saying to me, "My son is on drugs and he has your baby."
People that he didn't know had broken into the house.
I just immediately shot into the bathroom to find this naked guy, soaking wet, holding, like, on his back with his feet out of the tub, choking my son, biting his left ear, and there's blood coming out of my son's ear.
Chad acted instinctively.
But I immediately dove on this guy, and I jabbed him up into the throat with my thumb to get him to release the bite, and then started wailing on him, and he wouldn't let go of the choke. And at one point, I jabbed my right thumb into his left eye socket, all the way up to the first knuckle. And when he didn't squeal in pain or anything, I got even more worried. But eventually he let go of my son.
The man attacked Chad's father with a vase, he says. Then he watched his stepfather pull out a handgun.
And shot the guy twice in the torso. The gentleman then fell down, pretty much filling up the bathroom. My dad exited the bathroom, went around the corner, and immediately I heard multiple shots, which I thought was my dad engaging these other people in the house. There was a pause, and then I hear people start screaming police and hear people enter the house.
Police handcuffed Gary Black, who was later pronounced dead. Chad says that he knew when he saw his stepfather that he would not make it. In the interview this afternoon, he said that it was Gary's actions who saved his family.
He lived a hero, he died a hero. I'd be dead, my son would be dead, my mom, my daughter, we'd all be dead if it wasn't for him.
I want to tell you some more about Gary. His daughter told me that his family is very proud of him earning a Purple Heart in Vietnam. He was married to his wife for 39 years, the family said, and his wife actually knitted quilts for the Aurora Police Department in recent years so they could keep them in the back of their patrol cars and give them to crime victims.
Oh, I don't know what to say after that one.
Just
Jace.
heartbreaking.
All right, thanks for your work
Thank you,
on
Jace.
that.
And by the way, you can hear much more of that interview on ABC World News coming up at 5:30. Of course, Denver 7 at 6 o'clock, and always on thedenverchannel.com. Now, Aurora police plan to hold a press conference tomorrow to talk about this killing.
And we know you have a lot of questions tonight about the officer's past and the department's policies on shooting. Denver 7's Liz Gilardi continues our team coverage in Aurora. Liz?
And Shannon, we still don't know the officer's name, but we know that same person also pulled the trigger during an officer-involved shooting in June. So we started looking at the department's policies, wondering why this officer was back on the streets so soon. This is the scene of an officer-involved shooting on June 27th. Aurora police officers responded to a shots-fired call at the Biltmore Motel. They spotted a man matching the description of an armed suspect, pursued him and shot him when he refused to drop his weapon. Now a second officer-involved shooting with the same officer. Only this time the man police are accused of killing is a Purple Heart recipient and a grandfather. Richard Gary Black Jr. just shot a home intruder. Then police shot him.
I heard a few gunshots.
Aurora police have released few details.
We remain incredibly frustrated.
Then late this afternoon, the chief released a statement on YouTube.
In this situation, however, the 17th Judicial District Attorney's Office has asked that we not provide information until certain aspects of the investigation are complete. So we ask for your patience.
But we looked at the department's policy to find out why the officer was back on the street a little more than a month after the previous incident. The manual only says the review and status of the investigation will be provided to the chief prior to the officer's return. And according to the International Association of Chiefs of Police, they recommend an officer involved in a shooting should be placed on administrative duty for 3 days. The Aurora Police Department also uses psychological services to evaluate the mental health of the individual, and said the officer in this case completed the necessary steps to return to work. And in the statement this afternoon, the chief also said they're reviewing the body camera footage from that incident. Denver 7 has requested the body camera footage and 911 calls related to the shooting. So far, we have not received that information from the police department, but we're going to continue asking. Reporting live in Aurora, Liz Gilardi, Denver 7.
All right, Liz, thank you. And this story, clearly, it's developing by the day, if not the hour. And you can find our full coverage on the denverchannel.com. We will also stream tomorrow's police press conference live.